Hi guys, we are the Traveling Herbivores and we are an American couple that has been living in Australia for about 9 months and in this van for about 4. So we're going to be telling you guys everything that we don't like about it.
So disclaimer, we just wanted to say that these are things that very much vary on a van-to-van basis. Obviously things like we don't have a fridge. Obviously some vans do have a fridge. The first thing we wanted to talk about was because of this van, we do not have a lot of storage space and personal space. We sleep in the bed and that's pretty much it. We don't have much room to really sit up and get active, but that's okay. You know, maybe one day we'll upgrade to a bigger van and we'll be able to have that room.
The other thing that we get asked a lot about is how do we shower and how do we go to the bathroom? And Janelle made a really funny video about that, but to be honest guys, we go to the bathroom wherever we want, but we do have to plan out our showers since we don't have a shower in the van. So whether it's staying at an RV camp every other night or just taking really cold showers at a park, that's kind of what we have to be doing. But it's fine. It's really hot in Australia, so cold showers are nice.
So another thing we don't like about van life, especially in Australia, is though there are a bunch of RV parks around where we can camp and get a nice cold shower or nice warm shower and do our laundry, they're pretty expensive. So you have to find ways to kind of not deal with that. So one of the things we do is sneaky camp. It's kind of frowned upon and can be illegal in some states of Australia, but you can get away with it if you do your research and are very respectful and careful. There's an RV park that we love, but it's $40 a night for basically a patch of grass, not even the size of 2 parking spaces, where, you know, you sleep for the night. And $40 for a patch of grass, that's a lot. Another thing we don't like about those tourist parks is that on public holidays and weekends, they get very busy because van life in Australia and traveling is very common. So a lot of people get out on the weekends and go do it, which is awesome. It's something I wish America was better at, but it has its downside, right? Because now it's harder for us to get a spot. You kind of have to book it in advance if you do want to stay at an RV park. So if you're looking for a spot to park for a night, here are 2 apps that we use. We have WikiCamps, and what's the other one, Mimi?
Shoot, I don't know off the top of my head. WikiCamps is way better, honestly. Sorry.
WikiCamps, honestly, I'll just put one. WikiCamps.
But if you want the other option, it's nice to know them too.
We'll figure it out. We'll put it above or below. But basically, WikiCamps is your go-to. That's how you're going to find where you want to spend the night. Because sometimes there are free camps, but in the area of Sunshine Coast and near Brisbane, there are none, unfortunately. The freest camp is about 2 hours inland. So it's a bummer, but definitely worth having on your phone.
Another thing that we don't like that might not affect a lot of people, but it should affect you because there is no planet B. We have to buy plastic and it's really unfortunate, but bulk buying is really expensive after a while. So there are some things that we buy in bulk like rice and beans, but we can't bulk cook because we don't have a fridge to put it in. It's really unfortunate, but like we used to make tortillas from scratch and we can't do that anymore. So a lot of the things that we buy has to be stored in plastic. Also, bulk stores aren't everywhere in Australia. We do use an app called Happy Cow, which is where you can find like vegan grocery stores, and they also include like bulk stores, which is really nice. But yeah, they're not everywhere, which sucks. And then there's always people near you. So the other thing that is really annoying is lack of privacy. So we put up curtains that are pretty dark so people can't look into the van, but sometimes I'll leave it a bit open just so I get some nice fresh air, and people love to look into the van and stare at you, and it's really awkward and annoying. Or maybe you're just cooking in the back, minding your own business, and people will just come up and talk to you, which I know is like an annoying thing to complain about, but sometimes I just want to be left alone, you know, like I'm an introvert and just sometimes leave me alone, okay, people?
It's like, yeah, we appreciate the friendliness,
like, thank you.
But sometimes we
you know, you just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
It's like, we know we're in a public space, but please leave us alone, kindly, sir.
Like, these drunk guys came up to us when we were cooking, and they were like putting sausages over our food, like, here, take the sausages. And it's like, we're vegan. Leave us alone, stranger.
You're very nice, but no.
Like, thank you, but no thank you. Go away.
So another thing that that can be a problem is if you have an older van like this and you run into some mechanical issues and you don't quite know that much about the vehicle, then obviously you're going to have to see a mechanic who specializes it and can fix it for you. But because you're a tourist or you are a traveler, the mechanics can sometimes try to stiff you for a couple hundred more than actually needs to be done. So what we like to do is, if we know someone locally in that area, they can usually point a finger in a direction of a pretty honest mechanic, which has definitely saved our lives when we've run into some issues that we couldn't quite figure out ourselves. So I think one thing to take into consideration when you're doing van life is that friends and family are far away. Obviously you're traveling and you meet friends along the way, but you know, your true friends, your true family, they're miles away, so it can get kind of lonely. It's, you know, every once in a while you're just like, you miss hanging out with your group of friends, or miss, you know, talking to your mom or your dad, or eating dinner with them or something like that. So lack of privacy, am I right? You don't really have a place to call home, and it's kind of sad. The van is our home at the end of the day after we're working at our cafe job or whatever we're doing. It's nice to be able to come in here and relax, but it's like you're in home, but you're not home. You know, it's a weird gray area of like, I'm in my home, but my home is not home. There's a little bit of an adjustment and a learning curve that comes with it, I guess, but
Like, you don't have a secure place, you know?
Yeah.
If you're just living in an apartment, you go directly there right after work, you know?
Yeah,
For
and that's-
us, we have to strategize.
yeah. So, again, downfall, but not really, because anywhere's your home. But to us, that's how we feel about it.
Oh, I didn't realize I had that many. Oh, man. Ryan wanted to show off my bug bites, because I'm the bug bite queen. So the other annoying thing is there's a lot of bugs, and I know that's just like a thing that happens when you're out in nature, but I feel like living in a van, you're constantly struggling with that. Like, if we're parking in a park that is notorious for mosquitoes, we have to leave the door closed, even if it's really hot. Like this one time, 15 or 20 mosquitoes literally like barged into it, and we had to like kill them all because it was too many. And or like one time, it was raining, we weren't able to cook because our kitchen is outside, so we had to like run in the rain, grab our stuff, and then eat like vegan tuna with like cold bread, and like that was our dinner, you know? And I know it's like fun and it's a good story, but in the moment it's kind of stressful. Yeah, so outside elements, bugs, just like a lot of little things kind of get you annoyed as the days progress.
So this one may or may not get me in trouble with Mimi later tonight, but another downfall, I guess, not really a downfall, it's a blessing and a curse, I guess you could say it.
Dang.
This is completely non-scripted, by the way, so sorry in advance. One potential downfall, if you're traveling with your significant other, could be that you're constantly together all the time. I think me and Mimi, though, we really manage this well. And we spend time apart, you know, maybe she'll do some reading or go somewhere and I'll go for a surf. And so and we come back and we're like, oh yeah, I had a great surf session. Like Mimi will say like, I read this good part in this book or watched this good show on Netflix. So it kind of, if you're not used to it, it can be a little jarring at first to constantly be with your significant other. But Mimi and I lived with each other for like nearly 2 years before we did van life, you know, so we were kind of used to it and knew what to expect, and we respect each other's boundaries a lot, so that helps. And there's a plane coming, so cut. Literally. Oh my god, look.
Oh, that's scary. All the birds were like, no!
Thanks.
Now that was just plain loud.
Thanks, Qantas. Okay, that's all I got.
Do you still love me though?
Oh, of course. If anything, no, one thing about this is we've definitely grown so much. So it's not really things we hate about van life. I think it's, you know, you kind of notice these little things that might bug you in a relationship, but it's all about communication and being open with one another, and you can build and become a better couple together. So I don't think we ever could have grown as much as we have if we've never done van life, you know?
Heck yeah. This is a random one that I didn't think about until we were living in this flippin' car. We don't have an address to ship our stuff, and there is no Amazon locker, so we can't just send it to a locker that I know of. I should probably look into that. But regardless, there is no address to send our stuff if we want to order something.
This is a problem with everybody, and I think it's a little more pronounced when you're living in a van, is just the stress you feel from work and money. Because obviously, if you're traveling, you're not making money. You kind of have to stop somewhere and get a job like we're doing currently. But when you're on the road, you know, obviously you're enjoying the little things, you're enjoying going out, but money is always on the back of your mind. So I think van life does help you prepare and help you kind of cope with that a little better. But that can be very stressful, is like, okay, where are we gonna get our groceries? How much are we gonna actually spend on our groceries? Looks like we're gonna have to buy some canned items to save some money and stuff like that. Like, no vegan pizza tonight because we can't afford it. Literally, when we got back from Bali, we had about $3 in our account for a week because we didn't work. So we made that work somehow.
I don't know how.
Actually, I have a travel credit card, so we put it all on that, which isn't our ideal, but, you know, got to rack up those points somehow.
Late night peeing. We made this giant list of stuff we don't like, but then, like, now looking back on the list, it was like, man, it's not that bad, or I don't even know why I wrote late night peeing as a bullet point, but that's a bullet point. One other one comes to mind besides late night peeing is our laundry. We didn't even think about laundry, but our laundry is in this giant IKEA bag.
Hold up.
We
There
have
it
to
is.
constantly be putting it back and forth, from this space to this space, depending on where we are in that particular time. So that's frustrating.
Oh yeah, just no washing and drying machine.
Oh yeah, no washing and drying machine. We have to pay for it. Just like little things, you know? Yeah. But we have seen some other vans where they're definitely like struggling, in my opinion, but they look happy and they're fine. So I think it just depends on how much you're willing to put up with when you're living in a van. And at the end of the day, we're still having fun. We're still in this beautiful country, enjoying all the beautiful birds and getting to see a lot of Australia. So we're very privileged. And
No, that's perfect.
yeah, I don't know.
That's the best way to describe it.
I guess that's pretty much it. That summarizes things we don't like about van life. But like we said, these things are little things, and they make you stronger, if anything. And you find a way to work around it and solve a problem. And yeah, that's about it. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope this gives you a little more perspective onto what the dirty side of van life actually looks like. We have a van tour live if you want to go watch that. I'll put a link for that here. And then we also just posted our Bali cinematic vlog. We're the Traveling Herbivores. Thank you so much for watching.
Let us know if you have any questions.
Yeah, whatever questions you have, we'll be sure to answer.
Ask all the questions. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No,
No,
you're
so
good.
we can make a part 2 because we get this question a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes, we are on TikTok. You can follow us here.
Yeah, follow us here on TikTok to see Mimi's funny TikToks. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps little YouTubers like us to continue to want to do this. You know, if we see people are asking questions, we'll answer them and we'll respond even with videos. So please be sure to like and comment. My name is Ryan Coughlin. Behind the camera is 𝚆𝚑𝚎𝚎. We are the Traveling Herbivores, and this is our van. Thank you for watching.